So most founders say that they understand content, but the truth is they're still thinking like operators, not like modern media companies. And that simple mindset shift right there is why most businesses are invisible online. So in this video, I want to show you what it actually means to think like a media company today. Why it's actually the single biggest mindset shift for founders that they need to make in 2026. And this simple playbook, you can use it to turn your content into authority that compounds over time. Now let's start with the problem. So most founders are still stuck in operator mode. They like to focus on the sales, the systems, the operations, all the things that make the business run. But these are not the things that make the brand resonate. If you treat your content like marketing or something that you delegate or even something that you fit in when you have time, that's not gonna cut it anymore. The companies that are winning today, they don't just do content, they become the content. They become the media source. Think company like Apple, like Tesla, like Nike, or even a personal brand like Alex Hormozi. They're not really focused on selling and marketing their products all the time, but they're focused on storytelling, telling the world why they care and why they matter. Because when you think like a media company, your business stops depending on ads or even cold outreaches. The thing is, your ideas will do the talking for you. All those stories that you piece together, those are gonna resonate with your audience. So let's redefine this. What does it actually mean to think like a modern media company? Now, a modern media company doesn't just wake up asking, oh, what should we sell today? They wake up actually asking, what story do we want to tell today? If you think about it, Nike sells belief. Tesla sells the vision. Apple sells identity. And here's the real, your company can do the same exact thing, just at your scale. Because when your content tells a clear, consistent story, people stop comparing you to their competitors. They just simply remember you. When that happens, your content stops being just promotional. And that started becoming your proof of authority, your proof of values, it becomes your taste, and it becomes even your thinking. And that's the shift that you have to make. You're not just focused on marketing anymore, you're becoming a broadcasting channel. You become a source of information where your clients and your future customers can come and get knowledge. Now, what does it actually mean? Let's get practical. The Modern Founders Playbook, we use this with every single high-level client at my company. So there's actually 5 key steps that helps a company go from posting just occasionally into something that builds their authority. The first step is having clarity. See, you can't build a modern media company if no one knows what you stand for. Most brands are just loud, but they're not actually clear on what's the mission. They have things like products and features and things that they want to showcase, but not even a perspective of what they stand on. Having clarity really means that you want to define your belief of what your brand sells. You want to ask the question of what do you want people to believe after they consume your content? Because, once you know what that positioning is, what that brand clarity is, every piece of content has a direction. And this simple belief is what will keep your audience connected even when you stop posting for a week. Now, the second step is having a content engine. Now, when you start posting randomly, it's not really a strategy. You need to start a system that turns your ideas into a consistent output. Now, we call ours the authority content engine, and it's basically built on one simple idea. We want to replace inspirations with infrastructure. So from the ideas, the scripting, the shooting, the editing, the distribution, the analytics, and also repeating that whole process, there's a rhythm that builds momentum. Because if your content process depends on when you feel like doing content, you're gonna get dusted by other companies. But instead, if it depends on systems and discipline, that's how most companies will win. Now, the third step, and honestly, this is one of the most important ones, is consistency. This is actually where most businesses fall off. They confuse consistency with posting every single day. It's not really about the frequency anymore. It's actually about the trust that your content provides. So modern media companies, they usually publish on a schedule, not just based on mood. They show up when they say they will on a specific cadence that you can sustain for a year or even longer. And you want to protect that cadence, right? Because when you can rely on your content, your audience are gonna start relying on your brand. But consistency actually means nothing if you're just randomly posting whenever you feel like it. Now, step number 4 is community, which in the age of AI is actually one of the best things that you can do. Some of the best media companies today don't just broadcast things digitally, they connect. Every comment they respond to, every DM, every share is a signal for them. A lot of these companies will take these signals as feedback, and these brands would want to listen. They want to take that feedback. What resonates with their audience? What do they like? What do they not like? Which one sparks conversations? And by becoming a part of your own community, you will build and turn your audience into a bigger part of your advocates for your company. Step number 5 is credibility. And this one almost everyone skips. Everybody wants the views. Everybody wants just going viral. You can post every single day, hire the best team, spend thousands on production. But if your content honestly don't feel true, it doesn't feel genuine and authentic, I bet you it's probably not gonna convert. Because the thing is, your credibility doesn't just come from saying that, oh, we're the best, or we're gonna be the best one in the industry. But it actually comes from proving that you've actually already been there and done that. Sharing what you teach, sharing the stories, showing your actual process, telling the truth of what has happened before, even though if it's not even perfect. And the thing is that imperfections that you choose not to share is actually the thing that makes you more believable. And being believable is everything today. Everyone don't want to know that it's just AI or it's something that is polished and doesn't really build anything. People want to see the rawness and the true of your content. And here's the part that most founders get wrong. You can delegate the content creation, but you can't delegate your conviction. You can't hire editors and just hire writers if no one believes what you believe. And a lot of the conviction happens from you telling the story. Your job, if you're a founder, if you're a marketer, is to actually be the voice and the tone of your brand. You need to provide that energy in your brand message so that you can actually spread that energy to your audience. And the thing is, in content, a lot of people want to follow other humans who motivates them, who inspires them. And having just undeniable conviction is something that you want to have with all of your content today. So the thing is, you don't want to just chase trends. You want to build a good system. You don't want to just post content. You want to build that belief and that conviction within your audience. Because if you just take one thing out of this video, it's going to be that the modern founder doesn't wait for the attention. They'll create the attention. So with that said, if you enjoyed this video, just click subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.